It's the Joe Padula Show, Clarksville's conversation.
Absolutely.
Election 2020 update. Did the Supreme Court not hear the election lawsuit because they were afraid of riots?
Really?
One SCOTUS staff member perhaps has some words that you got to hear that nobody's putting out there. But we will. Now on the Joe Padula Show. Absolutely. Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, click that like, leave your comments, but definitely help us out and do us a favor and share this video now. All right. So, this is crazy.
Wow, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I watched the video tons. I was like, what?
This got sent my way. So there's this video making its way around currently, and the statement is coming from the GOP Texas elector, Matt Patrick, and he said, claiming, which I don't like about the anonymous source person. I get why people have anonymous persons, especially nowadays when somebody comes forward. Okay, the doxing, the threatening. I get it. I just wish people had more marbles. Right?
Marbles, yeah.
What was that? Major League 2?
Major League 2.
You have no marbles.
Marbles. Marbles.
Right. Oh, you can actually see that. Sorry. But yeah. So he said that this person said that who's a staffer for one of the justices, that the justices went into a closed room to determine whether to take the Texas lawsuit that was eventually dismissed. Again, never heard, so it wasn't dismissed on merit.
No.
They said it was dismissed on lack of standing.
Standard. Yep,
Right.
Standards. Yep.
So everything's dismissed. Not
Can
one
you explain that?
Yes. Not one judge has had people come up in front of him and present evidence. They've only presented cases. All right? And these judges, they don't take the case. You hear everything's being dismissed. Not one judge has taken a case where they actually said, okay, let's present the evidence, let's have juries, let's have that. None of that. Well, mainstream media is not playing it like that. That's not how they're putting it out there. So let's see what this anonymous staffer, again, I don't know the truth because of the anonymous part, but at the same time, I understand why the anonymous part. Here, let's switch it over so you guys could see as well.
That talks of, it was written by someone who's a current staffer for one of the Supreme Court justices. And this, I'll just describe the report to you. For
the record, this man is under oath with the under a penalty of perjury if found lying. Just saying. Do you know what I mean? That means fines and jail times if he's caught lying here. All right.
That I read, and you can make of it what you will. He said that the justices, as they always do, went into a closed room to discuss, cases they're taking or do debate. There's no phones, no computers, no nothing. No one else is in the room except for the 9 justices. It's typically very civil. They usually don't hear any sound. They just debate what they're doing. But when the Texas case was brought up, he said...
For the record, let me just fill us in real quick. The Texas case, in case you have been... I don't know, and I don't blame you for living under a rock. I don't. I'm not faulting you for that. But the Texas case was against Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Georgia for violation of the Constitution because those state Supreme Courts changed laws in those states regarding elections prior to the election, and you can't do that. That's not how laws are made or changed. They have to go through the legislation process, where legislators, they present and then they vote on bills and laws to change, to make them laws. Okay. Well, that lawsuit from Texas, and I believe it came to a total of 20 states who were on board with this lawsuit to go to the Supreme Court to hear it. Well, the Supreme Court, they said, like I mentioned earlier, they said, no, we won't see this. We won't see any of the evidence, anything that you're presenting. We are dismissing it. It has no standing. Texas' reasons was because it affected an election which affects these states that are involved, which it kind of does, including states that joined up on this lawsuit were states that we mentioned.
How can they determine that without looking at the evidence?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
They're just saying that just to say it.
Could be, but I want to know why. Why would they not look at this case?
Wiggle room.
Well, here could be the answer, or it may not be. Leaving it up to you.
He heard screaming through the walls as Justice Roberts and the other liberal justices were insisting that this case not be taken up. And the reason, the words that were heard through the wall when Justice Thomas and Justice Alito were citing Bush versus Gore from John Roberts were, I don't give a about that case. I don't want to hear about it. At that time, we didn't have riots.
Damn.
So what he was saying was that he was afraid of what would happen if they did the right thing. And I'm sorry, but that is moral cowardice.
Damn.
And we in the SREC, I'm an SREC member, we put those words in very specifically because the charge of the Supreme Court is to ultimately be our final arbitrator, our final line of defense for right and wrong. And they did not do their duty. So I think we should leave these words in because I want to send a strong message to them. Thank you.
Wow.
Wow, he's right.
Yeah.
So if true, if that video clip that we just watched is accurate, and mark the time, 16 minutes in, Melissa Marquez catching you with the gum.
I don't actually have it. You
Damn
saw
it.
the video.
I thought I
tricked
caught her
you.
with gum.
I made a video saying I was going to see how long it took for you to catch me with gum, and then
I
I
know.
spit it out because
Yeah.
I wanted you to catch me with not having gum.
But then you made a mistake by making fake chewing noises. So, okay.
Got him.
But nonetheless,
No gum.
coming from the Supreme Court, they respond to this claim that John Roberts, Chief Justice John Roberts, shouted at other justices over the Texas lawsuit. This is a spokesperson from the U.S. Supreme Court, and they disputed a report that claimed that Chief Justice Roberts shouted at the 8 other justices in a room in the High Court, urging them not to take up the Texas election lawsuit against 4 other key states. So there you go. They said, as guidance, the court has been conducting its conferences remotely by phone since March when the building closed due to the pandemic. The Supreme Court spokesperson said via email today. So, yeah. So we'll see what happens. I'd like to, you know what's interesting? We never really hear interviews from Supreme Court justices, right? We see on TV all the time Congress people, senators, right? Governors, state election officials, right? Presidents, so-called president-elects, right? But, well, sometimes we hear from them, right? Sometimes. But never really from Supreme Court justices.
It's odd, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Like,
is
you
a
just
little
never
odd.
he's from them. Like they're very, very quiet on things. You know, and I see what he gets saying is that when I watched this video, it just amazed me. I was like, because I'm thinking this is my understanding. They threw out they dismissed it based on the merits and all that stuff, but there's still a chance of looking at it from a fraudulent standpoint if it's brought up to the Supreme Court. That's my understanding.
It wasn't based on merit. It was standing.
It was the standings.
Right. So they said because Texas filed it.
Yeah.
All right. What if Pennsylvania filed it?
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean?
So the case of the fraudulent standing of it is still open though for the Supreme Court. This
Right.
is my view.
Yeah.
My viewpopoint, my understanding. Maybe.
And again, we got January 6th.
6th,
Okay.
yeah.
The 1887 Electoral Count Act is still. We'll see what happens. Bay, what do you make of that video that we just watched? Did you believe the guy?
Yeah, I don't know.
I know it's questionable. It really is. Well, let us know what you guys think. All right. Make sure to leave your comments below. We'll get to them, no doubt about it. Let's see. We got John Monroe saying yellow belly. Judges have a backbone, right? We got Jim Rogers is saying, would anyone be surprised if this is the reason? That's a good question.
Yeah.
You got to look at, Justice Roberts, Chief Justice Roberts. appointed by Bush. Okay, what was that? 2004?
Four.
Or 5?
It was
Yeah.
4 or 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I was down the Jersey Shore when I read the headlining news.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roberts. Yeah, we all talk like Rocky when we're down the Jersey.
Got a red bank.
Yeah, Chief Roberts. How you doing?
Robert.
But and this guy has been going against Trump's decision. Been going against Trump on decisions since Trump has been in office. Let's talk about the deep state, the Bushes. In case you're not tracking, Republicans and Democrats are the same friggin' thing. Okay? They're the same friggin' thing.
Same bird.
All right? Just with a little diversity. Now, you got people who like Trump. It's not even they're liking Trump. They like the fact that he's not a Republican, that he's not a Democrat. Do you remember when Trump used to be a Democrat, right?
He was, yeah.
Right. I'm telling you, they love the America First approach. Deep staters, it's not about America First. It's about a globalistic thing.
Yep.
They got this, hey, open borders, okay, China, sure, do what you got to do. Well, no, where you got a mass, and believe you me, I mean, once we get to the bottom of all these ballot countings, of the double countings and dead people voting and everything, you're going to see that, yes, there is more of a majority of those who care about this country first other than globalism. Bush was a globalist. Appointed by he appointed Chief Justice Roberts. Could be a connection there. Yeah. They don't like Trump. They don't like Trump. It's just interesting that even the, Amy Coney Barrett and also, Kavanaugh.
The two that went through the hardest process
Right.
to even get on the
And
Supreme
also
Court.
Gorsuch.
Yeah.
All appointed by Trump. I wonder if because Roberts is still a young guy. Now, Alito and Clarence Thomas, they were like, yeah, we got to take this thing. We got to look at this. There's something up here. Those are the two justices that were like, what?
Hey,
They're
little,
old.
little tidbit wrote Clarence Thomas, who was on the board when he was interviewed for it.
Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Right. Was attacking his character. You're a rapist. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Projecting a little bit. But,
Just a little.
Just to like,
sir, you're a rapist. Right.
Dead.
But look at the ages. All the 3 appointees are young. Like Roberts, kind of. This is a lifetime assignment. Are they looking long term? Like, damn, I got to work with this guy for a long time. Where Alito and Thomas, they're up there in age.
yeah.
They got a couple more years, so I'm guessing. We'll see what happens. Again, let us know what you think, all right? Leave those comments. Don't forget to share this on your timeline and in your groups, the whole bit, okay? It really helps out the algorithms because what we just said is going to be suppressed and shadow banned. I can't express enough.
I'll take it down.
Take it down.
Or you only get 26 minutes of a show, like the one show I watched you guys on, and it was
And
done.
then-
And I was
that
like,
was
what is
fun.
going on?
When they pulled the plug.
They pulled the plug, and I was like, I
Literally
was
pulled
watching
the
Joe.
plug.
What is going on?
I was seriously like, I don't hear anything.
I wish I was there when that happened because Bay told me about that.
That was crazy.
That was nuts.
So I appreciate you being a part of the team. No doubt about it. All right.
It's the Joe Padula Show.
Bada bing.
Clarksville's conversation.